Hello, my lovely spectators. Dee Dee here. Welcome to my studio. So, here is another installment of the 3 Under 30, part of the collab between Sevenplaza, Crafty by Tony, and the rest of us who would like to join in. So, in essence, you are to create 3 projects that are junk journalish, okay? And basically, you have to do it under 30. So if you've been looking on the internet and watching other people's videos, a lot of people have different approaches. Some people have been successful, semi-successful, way out the park, which was my first video. I never even did it because it was like an hour. But anyhow, I'm getting better. But I also like to be that renegade, I guess. Whenever I'm at a crafty event, people always want to see how I've gone rogue. So I'm going slightly rogue. I am going to do 3 different types of projects on what I'm doing here. I believe, yes, very simple. Should be able to do everything in 30 using some of the aspects of junk journaling. And yeah, you tell me in the comments below whether you think that this was a yay or a nay. I'm just gonna go to it, have fun, just talk through some of the stuff, and just go with it. So I decided to print out some of Margaret's other papers. I got the Mass Make March Mega Miscellaneous Pack. So I printed out a few sheets. She's had these lovely full pages with the florals, and then these like tea cards. So there was 2 of them I already cut. So we are agreeing that prepping things is not going to be part of the 30. You're not going to sit here and watch us cut paper for 30 minutes. So that's one thing. And the intro and the outro are not part of the 30 minutes. So I have my clock, my 30 minutes put here. I'm going to tell you what it is, what I'm doing, and then I'm going to start. So what has come across in conversation, and some of the other creators on the internet sometimes talk about, is that you may or may not just be into junk journaling. You may have come from another type of paper crafting, or you may just be a pure junk journaler. I started with scrapbooking. I got into card making. I do a little bit of upcycling of items and things of that nature. So I decided to take some of the ideas and things that we use and you see commonly in scrapbooking, in junk journaling, and apply it to a scrapbook page. So you tell me if it's a hit or miss. I'm going to be doing 3 items that we normally will see in a junk journal. So let me get started. I'm going to press start, and I'm going to go right to explaining what is happening. So we're going to press start, and we're going to place it here. Hopefully you guys can still see it. It should buzz when it hits the 30, right? So I don't have to worry about looking at it. So what I'm using, well, you would need a paper cutter to cut out these little cards. So there was 2 sheets. I already cut out 1 set of them. So I have 8 cards. So I'm going to put this to the side. I don't think I need more than that. These 2 were printed. You can see some white here, and that's because they had a slight white border. I've already trimmed that off. We don't need to have you watching me do that. They are different in the design, so you can see that there is a difference with the placement of the flowers. Okay, I'm gonna put that to the side for a minute. Also, there were 2 pages which contained teapots, and they had these floral strips down the center. I just cut those 2 out from those teapots. So I have this cut out from the teapots, and I guess these little floral cards. Okay, so let's we don't need this anymore. We're gonna put that to the side. I will be using the go-to of, we're going to be inking. That's one thing that I think transcends both card making and junk journaling. I don't know how much it goes into scrapbooking, but we're going to ink here today in scrapbooking. I took out some washi that is black and white because I'm going to have to attach. It has butterflies, I think the floral. I also have the some stickers that I had done that they look kind of messy, but that's okay. That's kind of the vibe, right? I have some butterfly stickers. I also have scraps from yesterday's project. So maybe I will incorporate that as like a tuck, not a tuck like in the traditional sense, but for decor. And these are photo mats. So one of the things that's big is that we tend to put photos on our scrapbook pages. And so if I make a page without any photos in mind, I put the photo mats with the size of the pictures that would be able to be placed there. So I'm going to make space for a 4x6, a 3x3, and a 5x7. Okay. I also have some washi and all these bits and things that I've been taking out all week long. Okay. And the reason why I decided I wanted to do a scrapbook page with you and show how 3 elements that we create as junk journalers is because more and more the business of scrapbooking has changed. They go with the trends and stuff like that. And this is a page, and I swear I don't remember from what album I got this from, but this is a page that was in a scrapbook pack. I mean, look at this. This is like perfect. Now, it isn't that heaviest, so I probably would, if, you know, after the fact, add a backing to it, real simple, just to give it a little more weight. So I pulled this out, and in general, we usually get 2 copies. So I have another copy here, which I've already folded in half. Okay. So people may say, oh, well, I'm going to lose all that. I'm fine with that because for the most part, when we do scrapbooking, we are we can do a double-sided layout. We would not use the backs anyway. So what I want to do is I'm just going to close this up real quick. I'm going to take some glue stick and just, you know, try to be a little neat because I don't want to get it on the other side. Okay. And it's just to make sure that this stays together. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I don't need for it to become warped, just enough that it won't open up. Make sure that the score is down. So now I will have a 1.5 pages for my layout. So what I'm going to do is, this is not a main aspect, but I am going to make this a flip, an interactive page. Some people may say, oh, but you don't do that in scrapbooking because, you know, people, they're in slots. You know what? I do have interactive pages. I do have journaling that I do. I usually journal mostly on almost all of my things. I write the story of what was going on. So yeah, that is not a truth for everybody. So we can, and when someone's looking at it, they can pull it out of the page protector and take a look. Okay, so I'm gonna get some washi tape because this is how I'm gonna hinge that to the other page. So let's do that, and let's go here. I want it to be straight because, you know, it is aesthetic. Okay, I'm going to put this together over here. Okay, that was a lot of flipping and flopping. No, it's too far away from me, so I'm gonna line this up like this. Make sure that this is lined up, and then I'm going to put the other side up like that to make the flap. Okay, so we could say that that's one thing that we do see incorporate into our journals is the flippy floppy flap. Okay, that's not one of the projects, but I'm just going to point out things that we have as commonality. Okay, project is actually creating something. Okay, what's cool is that since it was the same page, there is like that matching up, which I think is really cool. And so, but you won't be seeing that because I'll be covering it in a bit. Okay, so the next thing is going to be to add the bases. So I have the 2 pages here, right? I'm going to put one over here as a base page, and then the other one I'm going to put over here. Okay, and so what I want to do is I want to center, and then I'm going to fold it over. Okay, I'm going to corner round because why not? I think it'll look cute. Okay, and I'm going to also ink. So you will see some inking because that is something that I feel is more for card and more for junk journaling. So do we add full sheets to our journals? Yes, we do. Are they like this? Sometimes they are. we don't always do a collage. Okay, so I've got some walnut stain distress ink. I'm gonna hit up that, and I'm going to ink up my edges. I tend to be a heavy inker. I really want to see that I ink those edges, so it can be a little bit heavy, and I don't mind that. That's just my style, I guess. And so almost done with this page. Okay, and then I'm gonna ink the other one. Okay, so these two pages are staying intact. They are going to be part of our base foundation. So again, not necessarily a project, but still, this is a junk journaling kind of thing. This is a digital. I know that there are digital kits out there, that there are digital scrapbookers. This is not the same. When they do their digital scrapbooking, they're actually doing it physically in the digital world. Okay, so let's see, which one did I pick? I think this one's going to be here on this side, and this one's going to go in here. All right, so let's mark this guy with a pencil and fold it over. So I don't want it butting up against the washi, so I'm going to give it a little bit of space. You know, so I know that I have it well more than 6, and this is only going to be about 4.5, if that. I could go to the center of this if it bothered me, but that doesn't bother me. So I think maybe to the end of it, just because, yes. You know what? No, I want it like this. So I'm going to just put like maybe 1/4 to 1/2 inch here. And so I need to fold it about there. And so I'm going to do that. So now I'm looking for my mark. I'm going to fold right there. Look for my other mark. The fold right there. The lines should line up, and we want to make sure that everything is lined up. And where's my bone folder? There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now I'm gonna have this boy here, and I'm gonna glue that in place. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, you know what, I could do the easy route for the interior and just put some glue stick so I can get it positioned where I want. I want it centered top to bottom. Okay, and then to finalize the ends, the edges, I can just do that. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Now, what's going to happen is that I'm going to put this one here, but let's work on this guy in the front and talk about the picture. Where is my picture? I'm going to have them have the little photo here. Okay. And because I cut with a trimmer that is kind of messed up a little bit, I have one edge that didn't get cut. So I'm just going to rough it up a little bit. So having these rough edges is something that we sometimes do. Okay. And so a 3x3 photo would go here. Okay. Now, what I can add to this is another element. I could take a piece of what we had yesterday, right? And why not? Let's do that. And we're going to cut it. Now, I like to tear away from me. I'm going to keep this piece because I like to see that white edge. And I'm going to see how that layers like this. Okay. And I'm going to be able to add some layer like that. I'm going to ink this over here like this. Okay, because I need to be able to put this down first. So this is going to go under right here. Yep. So I'm going to just do that. I could also add a bunch of other elements around. We'll see if we get there. So this is more of a traditional scrapbooking kind of thing, but it still has the layers. Okay. And now to the whole thing. And what we sometimes do is don't do all the way to the edges. It's not necessary because maybe you want to tuck in some details to that, right? Okay. So now what happens next is we're going to move to the interior of the page, and we'll come back. So here is where we're going to see one of our things that we do, which is a pocket right here. And so I'm going to just glue on the sides the edges over here and create a pocket. Okay, it's another thing that is junk journaling to me, and so we have that going on there. I'm gonna let that settle before I mess with it, and then we're going to also glue on this guy. So let's get that glue stick back out. Okay. Okay. And again, we're just trying to get this down. So I'm gonna put this over because I do want to kind of have it flow from the other picture, and that's why glue stick is also, it's slightly bigger than the other one, I'm noticing now, which is fine. Okay, I want this edge to be sort of straight. Does it look straight? It looks like it might be a little bit off. Okay, let me take a look. Yes, okay, that looks good to me. All right, so because I've been messing with it, I will glue up the corners, the edge here, and there we go. Okay, so here we are. So we've got a flip-floppy, we've got a pocket, we've done some inking, and we have this. We can embellish. As a matter of fact, you know what? One of the things that I wanted to put was a butterfly. So I think I can put that one. I know it's obnoxious how big it is, right? But it's so cute. It's so cute. So in terms of the colors, right? I had 4. This was just way too much. This one I loved, but I think this one goes, yeah, I think, you know what? I am gonna maybe use that one over here and this one here. Yeah, sure, that's it. So we will embellish and put those on there later because I'm still working on things that need to be flat. All right, so to accent what's going on here, right? Because we have a pocket there, we're going to be able to tuck in some labels, right? So, and the other thing we can do is we could also tuck in the 5x6 paper. So given that I don't have another piece of this one here, with only 2, what I could do is take any other kind of like writing. So I have some of this printed on the back of here, right? So her Sevenplaza's other digital here. So this is there. I'm gonna need my cutting board, and I'm gonna cut out a piece to make a journaling card. So we did 5.5, 5x7. Let's see there, and then 7. I think I like this part better, so I'm gonna turn it around. So I need this out. You can't really see, I'm sorry. I forget about how far. I don't have a big space. Okay, I'm gonna cut right there. Just cut this a little bit off. Okay. So we're going to attach our matting for the picture, and we're going to make a journal card out of it. So we're going to do that. We're going to center this, make sure it looks straight, right? On the back we have that. We have this lovely paper that's there, and we're going to ink this. So I would say one project is a belly band with a journal card pocket, right? Definitely. Flip-floppy is another aspect of the journaling, okay? And no, that's good, okay. All right, so now we have a journal card, which we can tuck in here, and they'll put a photo on there, and then it'll be done in that respect, okay? Perfect. Now, these guys, I'm also going to want to incorporate some of these, and where's the other one? Here we go. So what I wanted to do is, I knew that there was going to be this space right here, so I wanted to kind of make like a belly band over here. Now, of course, the length of the paper was 8.5 by 11, so it's not reaching the top and the bottom. But I figured I'll put this one flower up here and the other flower down here. So let me cut that out. Okay. So all I'm doing is whoa, my ink is on the floor. Cutting this to about 4 inches. I want them to look relatively the same as far as where this is. Yeah, that's close enough. And then another 4 inches. Okay. And we're going to round the corners again. Where is that? And we're going to round the corner here and there. Okay. So now with scrapbooking, sometimes you want to include ephemera, like actual things that came from the event. Maybe these people went to a botanical gardens or something of the nature. And so they may have tickets that they want to include that could go into a pocket as well. So what I'm doing is that I want to make it from top to bottom. So I'm putting one of the flowers up there, this over here, and then the other flower down here, and trying to balance it in the center so that I'm covering as many flowers as the other one. So let me look here. So yeah, so I'm covering those two, right? So I want to kind of do that. Okay. How did I get it crooked? How did it move? It's got a mind of its own. Okay. So I'm going to have that. It looks straight. These lines are making me look weird, and then we're going to put this one here, also covering the other ones like that. So it's probably going to be a little less than 12, but that's okay. We don't have to have a belly band technically top to bottom. It's just going to be a vertical holder. Okay. So because I didn't get any up here, I'm going to go like that. And the same thing on this side. I should have inked it, right? Well, let's do that. I have to peel that guy up over there. Since it's not art glitter glue, I am safe to do that. Okay, here we go. Yep, still some room. Okay, now let's hope. Let's get the middle. And let's get the middle. And then the edge over here. So, that's okay. It's grungy, it's grungy. If you're going to incorporate 2 different styles of things, you may have a little oopsie now and then. Okay, so this is where I'm going to put this belly band. So again, let me add the glue here so that it could lay flat. The glue here. Yeah, I wouldn't want to create a tuck spot on the top here, but it's possible. Okay, so then I'm going to glue the bottom and just the top. Let's see, just the top. And we're going to center this from top to bottom. Okay. There we go. So now we have a little tuck spot. Okay. Now where's my other photo? So my other photo is going to go here. Okay, so let me just for a minute take a look if that's what I want to see. So when it's closed, we see the 2 photos. And when it's open, we've got this guy here. We've got a belly band. And what I want to do is I want to make our third thing, which is to make this into tags, which is super, super simple. So we're going to just cut them out from the sheet, make a tag top with this. I think this is great to have this little device. You can go like this and you can look at it from the other side and it pounces up at you. I'm just going to do them all. Okay. And there we go. Almost. I think there's 8 of them. So normally you might punch a hole in the top, but I do need to add more of that black and white kind of washi to the whole thing, which I'm going to add as some decor in a minute, some decoration. And I'm also going to make the tag toppers, I guess, from here. Okay, so somebody on another channel did this and I thought it was genius. Let's see if it works. I wish I had remembered her name. I was just, peeping at people last night, and she basically took her ink, took a bunch that had to all be inked, and did them like simultaneously. So I know that there's going to be some inconsistencies, but it gets the job done quicker. So, and I feel like I'm running out of time, but that's all right. Yes. Okay. So if anything is egregiously not colored in, then I will, go ahead and ink it some more. Okay. So let's glue this guy down. I could put a matte like this one, but I think I'm going to incorporate some of that other color again. So I'm going to do that same thing, the black and white, to add to this. Doesn't have to be exact. We're just going to go like this, and then we're going to ink that like we did in the front. Okay. Don't necessarily have to do it on this side because I'm going to put the photo on it, but it takes 2 seconds, so why not? Okay, so we have now this piece right here. Put a bunch of glue and get to put the photo mat on here, centered sort of top to bottom with a little bit sticking on the outside. And then we're going to, just for sake of time, and also it's just easier, put the glue stick there, and we're going to put that one right there. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to take this washi and we're going to take off a piece of washi, and then we're going to put it on the top here, bend it over slightly, and then you have your little tag. Okay, so we're going to do that to our washis. Okay, and try to make them straight, try to make them more or less the same height, right? Maybe use your finger as a reference thickness. Oh, see, this one didn't even hardly get anything, so I'll just hit this guy up a little bit. Okay, so it's not a full inking every single time. That there. Okay. Now, we're going to put some of these to use as journal cards. We can also use some of them as permanent fixtures to the page. Okay, and I think so. Let's see. Let's do this here. Okay. Okay. All right. And we have a few more. We have 4 more. Let's get them done. Okay. And slap on the butterflies. We can also include some words. That's usually typical, having a title of some sort. So there is plenty of space for that, but that's not something that we normally do in a junk journal. So this didn't work out as well. I think I was over ambitious with 8 things as possible. Alright, okay, one more little inky. Okay, yeah, I'm a little congested. I apologize for the sniffles. Okay, let's continue to put our tabs, right? You could do the eyelets, you could do the hardware, totally an option. There is bulk in scrapbook pages, right? I'm just trying to incorporate some of our junk journaling things. So we've made a pocket with the library, with a card. So I would say that's project number 1. We made a belly band, project number 2. And we have all of these journal cards, which is, I guess, project or idea number 3. At least that's how I'm counting it. So let me finish up with this one here. And there we go. That's kind of long, but that's all right. So now we have our beautiful page, right? Okay, we can tuck a few of these guys here. Maybe not the pink ones because there's pink already there. We'll tuck the yellow ones here, right? So we've got those in there. We can also tuck maybe one of these in there. And to add to the decor, we can put this here, and we can just pop it up. But I don't have foam tape right now. but you could pop it up. Okay, and the same principle applies. You're going to go over where the photo is, so you definitely do not want to put glue there. So I only put glue on the bottom over here. I know I need to be higher, guys. I apologize. And then the petal for the flower, I think maybe I do want to put this what is it called, this outrageous butterfly. I'm gonna take off the foam because it wobbles enough, because it is a little high, and I'm gonna just think about putting it there. Okay, you know what, I also want to add a little more black. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. A little more black to the page, the black and the whatever, black and white. So I'm gonna put that there, and then I'm gonna put my butterfly, my obnoxious butterfly right there. That's okay. And then we're going to have our center with some of our projects there. I'm gonna flap this over, and then over here I'm gonna put two tags. Let's put, I like these two. And we could put another tag inside. So we could even just put this here, just put enough on the bottom and enough on the bottom here that these create their own little tuck spot. So this guy is actually free floating, right? Maybe they're a little too high. Let's bring them down a little bit. Come on. I'm not worried about messing up the paper because this is going to be glued on top. All right, so we're going to bring them down a little bit. So let's add some more adhesive. Okay. And then this guy has adhesive here. So not all the way to the top, like I was saying. And then now this is a tuck. And this one actually comes out. Okay. So if I want, I can add a little more over here. So we made another little pocket right there. And let's see, where's the other obnoxious little butterfly? I think it was this one, right? Does he fit there? Maybe. We'll try. And since it might overlap the picture, I'm not gonna put anything below these upper wings. Okay, so we have our garden scrapbook page with junk journaling ideas. Now, it's 36 seconds. I think I'm successful. I think it looks cute. It's adorable. It is a lot going on. I'm not sure how many of you who do scrapbook do your pages. But I think that it works. It'd be perfect for someone who had a garden party or a birthday party at the Arboretum or something of that nature. So let's let my time wrap up while I am cleaning up a little bit and throwing out stuff, and then I can open up the thing again. There we go. 30 seconds. 30 minutes rather. So here's the outro. Sorry. Oh my god, I'm so happy today. But I don't know if it's because, see, I don't understand. I feel like I created, maybe they're not really decorated in the way that a junk journal would. You can tell me what you think in the comments below. Either you think that this is not falling in the collab. I think it is the essence of the collab. I think that merging the worlds and having us, intermingle is an awesome thing. So this is my scrapbook layout that is has been junk journalified by using elements that we use. So we've got the torn papers, the torn edges, the inking. We've got the tags. We've got the tuck spots, right? We've got a tuck spot here, technically, if you wanted to. These are like so funny and out of the way. We have the flippy floppy. We have a pocket. We have a journal card by backing the photograph with that. And then we also have an additional little card here. We have a belly band. You know what? Let me put this bad boy over here, even though I didn't want to put a pink one, but that's okay. We'll put that here. We've got 4 little journal cards. Maybe 4 or 5 people went on the event, and so therefore you have something, and each one can put a memory in there. We have a spot for the photo. So belly band, pocket, journal card, tags, tuck spot. I think this is great. So here's our page. We close our page, and that goes in our scrapbook book. Then, all right. So anyway, I'm gonna leave you there to ponder whether or not I actually, did the challenge. If you would accept that I've done it, because I feel like I did. So you can give me your feedback. I'm gonna add a little tape here. The pocket is big. It doesn't necessarily matter that it's got, what do you call it? I just feel like it needs a little black there. Okay, it's a little crooked, but that's okay. Yeah. So thank you for watching the full time. It looks like I've been on entirely for 35 minutes, which is awesome. And you tell me again like what you think, and if you want to come and see more of my wacky creations, then by all means subscribe, ring the bell, come back tomorrow and the day after or whenever I have time to post a video. So yeah, thank you, and I will see you next time. Ciao ciao, bye.